We need y'all support, bro. We need y'all support, right? And it's not just for us, it's for Rumble as well, because at the end of the day, they can take us off YouTube at any time. You guys saw DHS literally spent like $1 million, RP creators, just for giving you guys information on masculinity and becoming a better man. They put us on a fucking target list, which that makes me saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Yeah, man, this is tough, bro.
That's Myron Gaines, and that's Fresh. Two guys who claim they were high-value men teaching other men how to succeed.
How? We're the ones that give you life. Why is there no respect for that?
Well, actually, technically, we put our commitment into you, and that's what creates life, not you guys.
At their peak, they were top 10 super chat earners on all of YouTube. 1.5 million subscribers, millions of views per episode. Now they're getting less views than a random mom, throwing scam yacht parties where the boat never even leaves the dock.
Really giving them a deal or something. You charging these people $1,000 to get on a yacht with you?
And posting dramatic "we're leaving YouTube" videos like it was their choice. Fact is, it wasn't.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
There was a whites only space on X where they essentially were talking so much crap about Myron. They were calling him so many different. He decided to hop in this whites only space one more time, and guess what, guys? They kicked him out.
So how did two guys at the top of the manosphere fall this hard, this fast? Well, it starts with a lie. Actually, it starts with hundreds of lies.
Walter Weeks, a few years ago, got a paid fucking press release and posted by Lambos and Jets that were not his.
Fake music careers.
Fucking press release said that he was a rising music star. Like, dude, no one has heard of you. And that's when he started having the CEO moniker everywhere.
Both of them on websites paying for the exact women they told you to never pay for.
And it's just like the same interaction I had with you on the Seeking Arrangements.
Oh, yeah.
I just,
What the? I'm just here to find a brunette side chick to compliment my blonde trophy wife that is pregnant with our mulatto baby.
The guy who wrote a book called Why Women Deserve Less fell in love and worships his girlfriend.
Godfather. Godfather. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
The guy who preached high-value men got a woman pregnant and begged her to abort it. And when someone with actual facts challenged them, they admitted they had none.
Flown around the world. I want to hear from all
If
three
I
of
had to
you.
argue,
I want to hear.
off of like probability-wise, if I had to argue, maybe like 30, 40, 50? Well, globally speaking, but I'm just saying, like, for example...
That, you understand that's the actual number is like less than 0.1%, right?
Of girls getting flown out?
Of girls getting flown out to guys from normal
very
girls.
little. Very little. It's very little. I'm from Vegas and now in Miami and I've never done it.
It all came crashing down on August 18th, 2023, when YouTube pulled the plug. And these two lost everything. From the top of YouTube to the bottom of Rumble, and they learned absolutely nothing. So who are Fresh and Fit? And how did a dating advice podcast turn into one of the biggest self-inflicted disasters the internet has ever seen? Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks are self-proclaimed high-value men. They call themselves dating experts, fitness gurus, and successful entrepreneurs, except none of that is true. Let's start with Myron, because his story is just a perfect example of attempting to rebrand failure. Myron's real name is Amru Fudal. Born in New Britain, Connecticut, he went to Northeastern University and got a criminal justice degree in 2013. He worked as a Homeland Security investigations agent, started as an intern in 2010, became a special agent, spent nearly a decade investigating criminal cases in Miami. This was legitimate work, actual federal employment with a steady paycheck and benefits.
Right, like me putting on my former agent hat on, like, you know, you got a guy coming in shooting someone with a silencer in broad daylight in the morning, early mornings in New York City, Manhattan. You know, obviously a city that's very sensitive to any type of crazy crime like that.
But that job wasn't enough for him. Myron wanted to be famous, wanted to be a guru, and have people to look up to him instead of just filing reports and showing up to court. So he started trying to build something bigger. His first attempt was fitness. He changed his name from Amru Fudel to Myron Gaines, started a company called Unplugged Fitness to sell personal training programs, and positioned himself as an expert in the space. The only problem is, he had 0 certifications. Look at his profile right there. 18 years of experience, he claims, but no actual credentials to back any of it up. So when the fitness thing didn't take off, he pivoted to true crime. Started a show called Fed Reacts, where he'd review criminal cases and leverage his brief stint at Homeland Security to pretend he was an expert on everything from use of force to international smuggling operations.
A little trick I used to do, going back through memory lane. If they didn't want to talk the first night or whatever, after we arrested them, I'm like, cool. I'll let them sit in the jail for 2 or 3 days. Because I know the county jail sucks. When they get booked in the first time, before the marshals actually pick them up and put them in federal custody, 9 out of 10 times the feds typically have some kind of contract with the local county jail.
Well, that didn't work either, so Myron tried one more thing, dating advice. And finally, he found his grift.
Any of you guys here play chess? The most powerful piece on the board is the queen, but the king is the most important piece. You lose the king, the game is over. But the queen is the most powerful piece from an attack position because she can travel as many spaces as she wants in any direction as she wants. That is the average woman, chat. However, if you lose the queen, the game ain't over. And better yet, you can get a pawn to the other side and then turn that into a queen.
Now let's talk about Walter, because his fabrication game is somehow even more shameless. Walter Weeks, aka Fresh Prince CEO, is the quiet one in this story. The one who barely talks but claims he's slept with over 1,000 women and knows all the secrets to getting beautiful girls on demand. Fresh was born in Barbados, went to Barbados Community College, and got an associate degree in computer science in 2010. Then he moved through a series of completely unremarkable jobs that had absolutely nothing to do with music, production, or anything remotely glamorous. 2010, he's doing a work exchange at the Ministry of Agriculture in Barbados, setting up computers and fixing office IT issues. 2013, he's an office administrator at University of the West Indies doing basic admin work. 2015, he's a customer service and billing specialist at Focus Insurance Group. And then in 2017, he landed at Wix.com as a technical consulting specialist, which is a fancy way of saying he was doing tech support for people building websites. He worked there for nearly 4 years, until December 2020 when he quit to do Fresh and Fit full-time. But Walter wanted more. He wanted the flashy Miami lifestyle, wanted beautiful women throwing themselves at him, wanted money and fame and respect, and since he couldn't actually earn any of that through his work, he decided to just pay someone to make it look like he already had it. So Walter did what all great grifters do, he paid for fake credentials. Walter allegedly paid a PR firm called VIP Media Group to plant fake articles across random websites, making him look like someone who had credibility, so he could scam people into thinking he knew what he was talking about. In 2020, these two guys met through mutual friends in Miami, both chasing the same dream that neither of them had earned. They both wanted fame, money, the flashy lifestyle they'd been watching other people live on Instagram. Neither had it. Both of them were bitter they didn't. And that bitterness, hunger, and willingness to lie about everything to get what they wanted became the foundation of everything they built. Myron had already been doing live streams with a guy named Donovan Sharp, something called Weights and Dates, that combined fitness content with dating talk and red pill ideology. It was standard manosphere stuff, nothing groundbreaking, but it gave Myron a template for what worked. He invited Walter on to talk about dating, fitness, picking up women in Miami, all topics they had zero actual expertise in, but plenty of opinions about, and they realized something.
Anytime a woman characterizes her relationship as healthy, this means that her boyfriend does not have a problem with her engaging in activities that are conducive to infidelity.
Arguments meant more views, drama meant even more views, and chaos meant the algorithm pushed them harder. So they leaned in, hard. October 2020, Fresh and Fit podcast officially launches. At first, it's relatively harmless, dating advice, fitness tips, self-improvement talk, Money Mondays where they discuss financial strategy like they were qualified to teach it. Standard red pill content that thousands of other channels were already doing. But then they discovered the formula that would make them millions, and, well, destroy them completely. Around November, December 2020, they started bringing women into the studio. 3 to 7 women at a time, sitting across from them at a table, and they'd ask them questions about dating and body counts and what kind of men they wanted. The women would answer honestly. Myron and Fresh would challenge them, the energy would shift, and suddenly there would be real tension breaking on camera. In fact, there was a particularly humiliating video where Myron took it upon himself to say some of the most disrespectful things to women in this episode, all in the name of criticisms. Now, who gave these guys the guts, because it was just out of this world?
So for you, get in the gym where let your hair grow. Like, men don't like short hair. It's very unattractive. And then the I don't know what's up with the whiteness. For you, I would say get in the gym as well. I can see you got a little bit of a belly. You got to get in the gym, tighten that up. I mean, you're a dancer, so like you should be. I actually don't have a belly. I could see something like a pouch a little bit. For you, you're all right. Just is that weave? Yeah. Wear your natural hair.
Guess you can see a tiny bit why these guys are very much hated. So in all this, they discovered the real gold mine. When a woman said something Myron didn't like, when she pushed back too hard, or when she didn't show enough respect, he'd tell her to leave. Dramatically, on camera.
For sure, like he told you don't touch him, and then you handle it correctly, understand.
But your friend is another
she went another level.
Thing.
So
Are extremely dismissive and disrespectful to the platform, but it's fine because this just shows what we've been saying the whole time.
I don't respect the platform.
You don't?
I'll tell you, I don't.
Okay, well then you know what? You can get up and leave.
Yeah, let's put him out.
You can get up and leave at this point.
All right, let's go.
If you're not gonna respect the okay, both of you can leave.
That's fine.
That's fine. If both of you want to leave. Okay. All right. Come on.
I mean, hey.
This became the engine. Invite young women to the studio, get them on camera, ask them controversial questions about their dating history, their body count, their standards, and when they answer, insult them, demean them, challenge their worth as women. When they react, because of course they react, kick them out.
This show, if I'm not allowed to talk.
Get the fuck out.
Goodbye.
Fuck you and your show.
Okay, then get the fuck out of here.
I will get the fuck out of here, nigga. It's given you ain't get pussy until you was 20-something years old.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
It was actually 18. All right, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. You gotta go. You're wild. So, all right, you gotta go.
Thank you guys.
Rinse, repeat, profit.
Miami, looking at me.
This girl's about to get.
I wasn't even looking at you at all.
No, that's not what he was saying. He was just saying in general.
Martha,
Yo,
don't
chat, what do y'all want, man? Y'all want us to kick her off the show, or do you guys want her to stay? This chick, man, she's wild.
Was that rude?
This is ridiculous. I wasn't even like addressing her. I was using just a simple example, and she immediately made it personal.
But they needed a launch pad, someone to give them credibility in the red pill world, and whose audience would actually take them seriously. And in December 2020, they got exactly that. Kevin Samuels, RIP to him, the guy who was already famous for telling women they're average at best, and that they'll never get the high-value men they think they deserve. His entire brand was roasting women who called into his show asking for dating advice. So he was invited, and he spent the episode delivering his signature brutal honesty that his audience loved, and Fresh and Fit just sat back and let him cook.
And real quick, this is where a lot of guys go wrong, is they think they want to be the leader. And if your woman doesn't trust you to lead, she is not going to allow you to lead. You must be trustworthy in your decision making and a leader. Otherwise, she's not going, my girl doesn't, she doesn't trust me. She doesn't let me be the leader. That's because you have not taken ownership of the leadership.
Kevin Samuels' entire audience discovered Fresh and Fit. The red pill community accepted them. At this point, they became legitimate and were part of the manosphere ecosystem. And from there, it was a gold rush. They developed a whole system to keep people coming back every single day. The money poured in. The subscribers climbed. And by early 2023, they'd hit 1.4 million subscribers and were booking mainstream guests like DJ Academics and Brittany Renner. At this point, they were the Red Pill Podcast. The biggest, the most influential in that space. And like all good grifters, once they had the audience, they started selling courses. But while Fresh and Fit were growing, pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars every month and watching their subscriber count climb higher and higher, they were showing the world exactly who they really were. And it wasn't pretty. But the thing about success built on controversy is you start to think the controversy is why you're successful. You believe that being toxic is actually the strategy, not the problem. And Fresh and Fit were about to prove that theory wrong in the most public way possible. Let's start with December 28th, 2020. Myron's on TikTok at this point, building a following separate from his podcast. He has over 200,000 followers who are watching him post quick dating tips and red pill advice in 60-second clips. And on this particular day, he decided to share some wisdom about how men should handle women who flake on dates. Now, you'd think the advice would be something reasonable, like move on or don't waste your time on someone who's not interested, but that's not what Myron said.
Guys, you want to know how much of a novel concept it is to punish females and hold them accountable? I went viral on TikTok for saying to punish bad behavior when a woman flakes on a date. All right, let that sink in for 2 seconds. I went viral on TikTok back in December of 2020, approximately 3 years ago, right? Absolutely viral, millions upon millions of views for saying you need to punish bad behavior from females when they flick on dates. If a woman wastes your time, right? And the only thing, what was that? What I say? Make her pay for the round of drinks when you guys meet up the second time. That's all I said.
Punish. That's the word he used. Like you're training a dog who pissed on the carpet. Like women are animals who need to be disciplined for not doing what you want. The video went viral on December 29th. Not because people agreed with it, but because people were horrified by it. Women were sharing it saying, "This is what we're dealing with." Feminists were using it as an example of toxic masculinity in action. By the time mainstream outlets like Fox News picked it up, the backlash was everywhere. Comment sections were flooded with people calling him a misogynist, saying this was abusive behavior disguised as dating advice, asking how TikTok was allowing this kind of content on their platform. And TikTok listened. By January 2021, Myron's account was gone, and every video wiped. For most people, getting banned from a major platform would be a wake-up call, a moment to reflect and think, maybe I went too far. Just maybe I should adjust my approach. But that's not what happened here, because Myron's fans didn't care. They agreed with him. They thought the advice was solid, and when he got banned, it just confirmed what he'd been telling them all along, that he was being censored for speaking uncomfortable truths that society didn't want to hear. So instead of learning a lesson about boundaries and respect, Myron learned something completely different. Controversy indeed equals growth. So by the time we get to January 4th, 2022, Fresh and Fit have learned that pushing boundaries and pissing people off is actually good for business. Why would they stop? On this day, rapper Asian Doll comes on the podcast as a guest. She's a legitimate artist with a real following, and having her on should have been good for their credibility. The episode starts fine. Asian Doll is sitting at the table with other women, and they're talking the way people naturally do in group conversations, occasionally interrupting, building on each other's points, the normal back and forth you'd expect. But Myron doesn't like it. You can see it in his face. These women are talking too much, and not letting him control the flow of conversation, not giving him the deference he thinks he deserves as the host. He gives a warning and tells them to let him finish, but they keep talking. And then he does this.
Conversations, please.
All right. What about
I've told you, this is like, this is like the 5th time I've told you that, right?
Yeah, 6th time.
Like, stop. For real, like, stop.
He mean as
You haven't been here.
I don't give a fuck about none of that
shit. Yeah, it's the whole show.
Yeah, she's been doing it the whole show. I'm not mean as I just have rules. Simple.
All right, go ahead.
It's podcast.
damn.
Asian Doll looks at him like he's completely lost his mind. This is a grown woman, a successful rapper, and he's shushing her on camera like she's 5 years old.
I'm not mean at all.
Okay, I don't care.
Have you been here the whole time?
No.
All right, then. So you don't know what was happening, right? Okay, then. So how are you going to come on somebody's show, not know what go down, and say, oh, you're mean?
It don't.
And that's when Myron escalates instead of de-escalating.
Okay. Fuck off the show, too.
I don't give
man, off the show, too.
Man. What? Chill out, bro.
Nah, you can go.
Chill.
You're not going to come on the platform disrespect.
Nah, bro. She ain't got to go nowhere.
No,
chill.
she could go.
Chill, bro.
I don't have to.
Chill.
Come on, baby.
At this point, Asian Doll doesn't argue anymore. She grabs her stuff, stands up, and walks toward the door. The whole studio goes quiet, and she's gone. By the next day, January 5th, the backlash was everywhere.
Time that I reacted to these guys, I don't know much about them. I don't know how they normally operate, but this was just disrespectful unnecessarily. And I get it. This is your podcast. You want to keep some type of order, but there's a way to speak to people. You didn't have to do all of that. For what? And you got that press because she said you were mean? Are you serious? That got under your skin and made you be so disrespectful towards her because she called you mean?
Asian Doll herself even addressed it on social media, making it clear she felt disrespected and that the way Myron spoke to her was completely out of line.
Shit, and that's what made me like that. My first podcast ever, like, even like, bro, first like real podcast was when I did that shit. And said that, and whole time is my first one. I'm not knowing what I'm walking into. I'm not knowing nothing. I just did it because that's what somebody referred me, like, asked me to do.
But once again, Fresh and Fit's core audience didn't see a problem. To them, Asian Doll was being disrespectful. She wasn't following the rules. She got what she deserved. The toxicity wasn't some bug in their content. This was the entire feature. And then there was something that had been sitting out there for months, something from October 2021 that most people had missed at the time, but once it resurfaced, it reframed everything people had been watching. During a stream back in October, Myron was talking about dating preferences, just having what he probably thought was a harmless conversation about the kind of women he's attracted to, and he said this.
Black. It's funny, I never used that one, bro, but hey, man.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like, me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that.
Man.
We ain't Night Riders.
Nah,
so
bro, I'm good.
You know, sometimes if they're, you know, red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying.
Now peep this. Both hosts are black men, sitting on camera and telling their audience that they don't date black women. Insane. So when this clip started circulating more widely, Black Twitter absolutely lost it.
On a recent episode, they was like, we don't fuck with black women, you know, that's not, and that's cool, you know, like you can have a preference. I mean,
wait. They said the dudes?
The two black dudes, they said their they was pretty much saying that they don't date black women, you know what I'm saying? But they was saying it in like the most offensive way possible.
And that's all I'm gonna say on that. I don't have time to gossip today. I don't have time to talk to you guys about Fresh and Fit and their preferences for not liking black girls, because one thing I will say, white men don't do that. Arab men, Middle Eastern men, Mexican, Latino men.
The self-hatred was undeniable. These were two black men publicly declaring that black women weren't good enough for them, weren't worth their time, weren't worthy of being Night Riders for. However, the most hilarious thing in this entire drama was their response, or should we say excuse, to the situation.
So let me get some context, right? So what happened was, we have a show, right? A live show on YouTube where people donate money to the show. So one of the donators, they said, hey, there's an app called Blacks. You guys use the app? And we're like, Blacks? Man, the experience that we have with Blacks isn't that good. And we see mainly, I want to say, Lashauna's and Shaniqua's on the app. I want to just like, you know, come in and smash. So that whole context was like, okay, the app itself, we didn't find high quality black chicks there. So we're just saying, hey man, real talk, we don't dabble in the dark, because in that sense, we don't. So we're talking mainly about the app. And even so regarding girls, bro, like if the girl's cool, she's a cool vibe, it's different. But most of the ratchet.
Now, how can anyone trust or believe these two, especially when you look at the pattern? Look at who gets the harshest treatment on their show, over and over and over again. Myron shushes a black female rapper like she's a child. Both hosts publicly announced they don't date black women. The most viral moments of conflict and humiliation on their channel consistently featuring black women being degraded. Even after all the dragging they've received, Fresh and Fit never even acknowledged that maybe there was something worth examining in their behavior. Why would they ever stop? Their bank account rewarded the controversy. They didn't see these as warnings. All they saw was proof that the formula worked. So they kept pushing and crossing lines. And for a while, it looked like they were right and they were untouchable. Until they weren't. Because they were about to make one crucial mistake that would change everything. ABBA and Preach. Exactly where the downfall truly began. If you've been following YouTube drama for any amount of time, you know who ABBA and Preach are. They've built a reputation over years of being the guys who will call out anybody, no matter how big, no matter how popular, if they think something needs to be said. 2 million subscribers. Hundreds of videos breaking down manosphere content, social issues, relationship dynamics. They're not random commentary channels throwing out hot takes for clicks. They do their research, they bring receipts, and they don't back down when people push back. So they'd been watching Fresh and Fit for a while, seeing the same patterns everyone else was seeing. The misogyny, the exploitation of women for content, the contradictions between what Fresh and Fit preached and how they actually lived. But they hadn't made it a thing yet, hadn't dedicated full videos to breaking them down, until Fresh and Fit invited them on the podcast. And at first it went fine. Better than fine, actually. They sat through the After Hours episode. Afterward, Abba even complimented them, said it was a good conversation, thanked them for having him on. Everyone seemed cool, but here's what Abba didn't know at the time. Before Abba and Preach ever stepped foot in that studio, back in 2021 when Fresh and Fit had less than 100,000 subscribers, Myron had been on other podcasts talking about them, and he wasn't saying nice things. Now, calling Abba fake and a poser who only acts red pill for views but doesn't actually believe it. Saying he's someone who got a little success and immediately abandoned the philosophy that got him there. It felt like Myron questioning Abba's entire credibility, his authenticity, his character, and Abba found out about it. So when Abba came on Fresh and Fit, it should have been straightforward. Myron had talked shit about Abba before when Fresh and Fit were still small, pre-100k subscribers, calling him blue pill and taking shots at his show. But now Abba was actually sitting across from him in the studio, and Myron had the chance to either own what he'd said or apologize. And at first it seemed like Myron took the high road. He apologized. Abba accepted. They kicked it. Abba allegedly even stayed for the After Hours show, and everything seemed cool. For a minute, it looked like this could be the start of a respectful relationship between two channels in the same space. But then, months later, Abba and Preach posted another reaction video. Not about the show they were on, but a different Fresh and Fit episode they'd been watching. And this time, the reaction wasn't positive at all. They broke down contradictions in Fresh and Fit's content, pointed out hypocrisy, called out the way they treated women. It wasn't personal, it was critique of the content itself, but it was harsh and it was public.
Come on the pod. I find it fascinating that there's such an emphasis on respect. Yet the only criteria for the women you bring on the show is how they look in their IG pictures.
And Myron lost his mind.
You guys have been talking for far fucking long. I have a problem with Abba. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You want to have it in person? Fine. I'd be great. It'd be great. I just want to ask you, why the fuck are you a snake? And why has nobody called you out for all these fucking years? You know that man, I don't give a shit about him. Who the fuck is Preach? Because I met your person. I shake your hand when I met you. I let you into my fucking house. You did that dumb shit. That's my fucking problem.
He went on stream and absolutely exploded. Everything he'd been holding back came pouring out. Racist. On camera, in front of thousands of people.
It looks like a
You should see him build momentum. What the
Yo, every time this
I got a problem with you. Imagine them.
Nigga looks like a monkey.
Preachers over there looking like McGilligrill and Donkey Kong having a baby.
Then Fresh made it worse by challenging them to a physical fight on stream.
You know what? Come back to Miami. Let's box it out. Talk it out. How about that?
Hilariously, Preach didn't hesitate. He called the bluff immediately.
We're not.
And later on in the video, you're saying that you want to box with me. Sort of happened that I'm going to be in the U.S. next week. You want to fucking do this shit? Let's go. Both of you. I'll be in the U.S. next fucking week.
Hold up.
Let's go.
But the thing is, Fresh went completely quiet. No follow-up or date or even location. He challenged them to a fight and then cucked out the moment Preach accepted. But the worst moment came when Myron, still raging on stream, said this about what he thought was Preach's wife.
This nigga Preach is married, probably to a fucking beluga whale somewhere, and y'all just talking shit.
Things escalated even further. Abba went on No Jumper for an interview, and during that conversation he made a serious allegation against Myron. He claimed Myron was a rapist, referencing a situation involving an influencer who wanted to come on the show.
Protecting your own. Just saying, when they talk about how these men protect each other, that sound like you. Because when he came on and said he did that, where was your pushback? You ex-law enforcement, but you sitting here cozying up with rapists. Okay.
Fresh and Fit responded with a video. They brought receipts, DMs, timestamps, everything they had to prove themselves.
Note that, guys, that he says we talk shit about his wife. Later on that night, guys, we do after hours. So they dropped their hit piece on us about we disrespected his wife and his country, and then we dropped this video right here. We did after hours, but we said this at the beginning of the after hours show.
Real fast. On this podcast, we talk about accountability, okay? Yeah. And we are not above taking accountability. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we made a mistake, okay? It is not cool to insult a man's country and or wife live on air. We should have kept the disagreement on the topic and not the people.
Yeah.
Okay? Smart people discuss ideas, stupid people discuss people. And we made a mistake, all right? So with that said, we apologize, okay, for talking about his wife, his country, and making ad hominem attacks on them.
And at this point, guys, we were done with it. As you guys know, we didn't make videos on them for months. We just deaded it. But what did they do? They kept making videos because they realized if you make videos on Fresh and Fit, you're gonna get a lot of views. We never ran away from a boxing match. And then on top of that, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the screenshots of the Instagram DMs between Fresh and Abba. And here's the reality, guys. Abba was terrified. He wanted Preach to fight both of us. And we were like, no, bro, you gotta show up too. Fresh could box Preach. We don't give a shit about that. You need to box me, okay? Because you were the one that violated the most. And this is what Abba does. He can't fight his own battles. He's behind, you know, being a snake, doing the shicey things that he does. You want to pawn everything on Preach.
And that's when Fresh and Fit made one of their biggest mistakes. They hired a legal firm to issue copyright takedowns against Abba and Preach's videos. And not just Abba and Preach, they went after other critical reaction channels too.
Fresh and Fit decided to hit us with dozens of copyright claims. We saw this was probably going to end up coming, and honestly, not upset about it at all. They apologized to us for some of the comments that they made in regards to Preach's significant other. And then afterwards, recently, they decided to copyright claim the video that we did in response to their apology. So imagine being like, yo, we fuck up, we take accountability, we're sorry. Okay. Yeah. We're like, oh, this is how we feel about your apology. Copyright claim.
The YouTube community turned on them hard. False copyright takedowns are illegal. It's one of the most frowned upon things you can do on the platform. Even people who didn't like Abba and Preach thought Fresh and Fit crossed a line. Eventually, Fresh and Fit apologized. They apologized for the wife attack. They stopped the copyright strikes. Myron even said publicly that they wouldn't respond to Abba and Preach anymore, that they were done engaging. But Abba and Preach didn't stop. They kept making videos about Fresh and Fit. For the next year, maybe two, they continued attacking them, breaking down their content, pointing out contradictions. Then something surprising happened. H3H3's podcast had women on making new allegations against Fresh and Fit, and Abba and Preach made a video defending them, actually standing up for Fresh and Fit against what they saw as unfair accusations.
Much as this motherfucker got ego, you got ego, you need to get checked, girlfriend. Why you want to go in a place you put yourself? Oh my God. If that was my daughter, I would be like, with your stupid ass. With your stupid ass.
Facts.
Why do you go out of your way just because you want to prove a point because you got ego that you're going to try to spend the night with?
And that decision started a whole new beef between Abba and Preach and H3H3. But even while defending them on that one issue, Abba and Preach kept attacking Fresh and Fit on everything else. And increasingly, they started going after other YouTubers connected to Fresh and Fit, widening the scope of who they were criticizing. And recently, Myron went off again, this time with a guest named Zherka. He said he regrets apologizing to Abba, that he shouldn't have backed down, that the whole thing was bullshit from the start.
Responsibility and take the blame for inviting a homosexual on. Abba, you knew he's blue pill and you put the snake in the pit. Like, why?
Yeah,
I'm telling you this, it's not worth the views with these blue pill guys. It's all fun and games till they say that guy's a rapist. If you're gonna have blue pill guys on, maybe on a Discord call, bringing them the ops here. You guys are being too charitable, these fucking weirdos. You know, he's a known lie.
So the beef is still going. Years later, still unresolved and full of contradictions on both sides. But here's what matters for Fresh and Fit's story. That initial meltdown where Myron screamed racist insults, couldn't control himself, cost them. They lost tens of thousands of subscribers almost overnight. Their reputation took a massive hit. And more importantly, the Abba and Preach situation made people start paying closer attention, really looking into Fresh and Fit's background and digging up receipts. Because once people started digging, they found a lot. And one very angry ex-employee was about to make his feelings extremely public. August 23rd, 2021. Fresh and Fit are live, middle of a regular podcast episode, and then this happens.
Voice not to continue.
Yeah, there was no
because you got
problem.
triggered, baby.
What's going on in here?
Oh, what
I am this here.
What's going on?
What
Oh
the
shit.
heck?
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys.
What's up?
Oh, Ayonde?
Guys, this is really bad.
This is really bad. Uh-oh, wait.
Yo, Ayonde, don't come in this house. Don't come in this house, bro. Don't come in this house.
Whoa.
Okay, I got it.
Yep. Now we know Myron Gaines the bitch nigga. We're doing a show, bro.
So step the fuck outside, you old
all right,
nigga.
Come on in.
Who's running your fucking mouth, right?
Come on in, bro.
Of course you want me to come
Come on in.
Because you's a fucking pussy snitch.
Okay, exactly.
You a police calling ass ass snitch.
Exactly. That's why you ain't coming in.
The world knows.
Don't do it, man.
The world knows.
Ayonde. Ayonde.
I'ma preach. You ain't
Yep.
gotta worry about the nigga.
Yep.
You ain't
You're
gotta worry
literally
about
trying. Yo, you're committing a crime right now, bro.
What? Look.
You're committing a crime right now, bro.
Look, you gotta just talk about crimes.
Oh, shit.
You gotta just talk about crimes.
This is Ayonde. Most people call him Ayonde, and he is absolutely furious. Security tries to stop him, tries to grab him before he gets too far into the studio, but Ayonde's not trying to fight anyone. He's there to talk, and he's going to be heard whether they like it or not. Now, to understand why this moment mattered so much, you need to understand who Ayonde was and what his relationship with Fresh and Fit had been. Ayonde had worked for Fresh and Fit for somewhere between 6 and 12 months in early 2021. He wasn't just some random guy, he was their photographer, their videographer, also one of the people responsible for bringing girls to the panels that made their content work.
Okay, so you were helping out Fresh and Fit with bringing women to the show, correct?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And doing it very well.
He was part of the operation, part of the machine that was generating all this content and all this money. But then he left, and according to him, it wasn't a friendly departure. According to the story, he got fired after the 100K subscriber party situation, after some of the girls complained that he was making them uncomfortable, after disagreements about credit and payment for the work he was doing. But according to Ayonde and others who were there, the party was a disaster. And when people started asking for refunds, when they started complaining that they didn't get what they paid for, Fresh and Fit pointed fingers at Ayonde and his friend, saying they were the ones who collected the money, blamed them for the problems, and Ayonde wasn't having it. He'd been part of building this thing, and now they were throwing him under the bus to protect themselves. Ayonde laid out exactly what he saw during his time working for Fresh and Fit, and it painted a very different picture than what they showed on camera. According to Ayonde, Myron specifically hired insecure people who were easier to control, people who wouldn't push back when things got questionable, people he could use as punching bags when he needed someone to blame.
Out there. So I feel like the show kind of stagnated in the sense of hitting the same type of chicks. You're going to get the same type of answers, the same type of mentality, same type of mindset. And that's not really hopeful for guys.
Now let's talk about the copyright attacks. Fresh and Fit built their entire brand on being free speech warriors. They talked constantly about being censored, about big tech trying to silence them, about cancel culture destroying men who spoke uncomfortable truths. That was the brand. They were the guys who said what needed to be said, consequences be damned. So it was particularly ironic when in late 2021 and early 2022, they started doing the exact thing they claimed to be fighting against. They started trying to silence their critics, not by debating them or responding to their arguments, but by filing copyright strikes. Over several months, Fresh and Fit filed copyright claims against more than 20 different channels. ABBA and Preach, smaller commentary channels, anyone who'd used clips from Fresh and Fit episodes to criticize them.
Well, I just wanted to talk about this really quick because Fresh and Fit are falsely copywriting things again, which is a little bizarre. I don't really understand it. But what's the weirdest is it's not even theirs to copyright, right? It's not like not like I did a reaction to them in this video. So I don't really understand why this is happening. It's really weird to me, and I wonder if other people are having this problem. 3
copyright strikes and your entire channel disappears. And they kept filing strikes anyway. Anyway, YouTube had enough, and they issued an ultimatum. 7 days to remove all the false copyright strikes or their channel would be terminated. Fresh and Fit panicked and started removing strikes. The system worked, barely, but only because YouTube forced them to back down. These guys who built their brand on being censored had just spent months trying to silence anyone who criticized them. They didn't want free speech at all. All they wanted was consequence-free speech for them, and silence for everyone else. And people noticed. Every channel they tried to silence, it just made more people pay closer attention to what Fresh and Fit were actually doing. And once people started really digging, they found something that made the copyright hypocrisy look mild in comparison. Because while all this YouTube drama was playing out, people started looking into their personal lives, their relationships, the women they actually dated, and the hypocrisy they found was spectacular. Fresh and Fit spent years preaching a specific philosophy. High-value men don't pay for women, don't trick, don't date sugar babies or escorts. So let's talk about who Fresh actually dates. 2021, Fresh starts posting with a woman named Miranda, his girlfriend. Miranda had a profile on Seeking Arrangements, the sugar baby website. The guy who told men to never pay for women met his girlfriend on a platform where women explicitly look for men to financially support them. DJ Academics told him directly,
your life right now might not be matching what you preach. And it's okay because we all make mistakes. By the way, I've made mistakes too.
But in all of this, Fresh's excuse was that he invited her to a yacht to meet her, meaning he used wealth to attract a woman from a sugar baby website. That's paying for women with extra steps. Anyway, the relationship ended in late 2021, and everyone thought maybe he learned his lesson. Fast forward to early 2024. Fresh started dating Daisy Chen, and on their first date, he allegedly bought her a Van Cleef bracelet worth $155,000. The guy who preaches never buy women expensive gifts dropped $155K on jewelry that first time they went out. Then Daisy got pregnant in April 2024.
I just didn't know my decision.
You weren't
but
sure
But when
yet.
I called him, I was sure I wanted the baby. When I just find out I'm pregnant, I was really surprised and I was really happy. Yeah, so my point is, if I die, he died with me.
At this point, rumors started flying around that Fresh pressuring her to have an abortion because, checks notes, a high-value man doesn't want this baby. So what this means is every piece of advice Fresh ever gave about being a real man was bullshit. Fresh's hypocrisy was bad, but Myron, the guy who literally wrote a book called Why Women Deserve Less, was somehow even worse. For years, Myron denied having a girlfriend. Then in March 2025, after the demonetization, after everything fell apart, he finally admitted it. Her name is Angelica Kamiko. Angie, a Venezuelan and MBA graduate who works in medical sales and apparently lives with Myron. And the way he talks about her, everything he said men should never do.
Oh no, this is because anytime I get surrounded by men, I just get a fake engagement because I saw chats asking for this. I get a fake engagement. Do you guys think Myron is gonna propose? That is hilarious. So I just do that so guys won't ask me out or anything like that. So just leave me alone.
There you go. I didn't even tell her to do that. See, she just does that. Get yourselves a girl like that, guys. Thank you. I love you too.
So here we are. Both hosts of Fresh and Fit completely exposed as frauds wearing expensive watches. Fresh, the guy with the course on how to attract women naturally, was literally shopping for girlfriends on sugar baby websites and allegedly dropping $155,000 on first date jewelry. This guy who built his brand on never be a trick became the exact trick he warned everyone about. And Myron, who wrote an entire book titled Why Women Deserve Less, turned into a lovesick puppy the second he got a girlfriend, gushing about her on stream like a teenager who just discovered what holding hands feels like. Two guys who spent years teaching men how to be high value while actively demonstrating in real time exactly how not to do any of it. The irony is almost impressive. Almost.
Why would a guy who's getting real money for the first time, wife up one of these?
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Okay, first of all, don't say one of these. That's rude. Just say a woman, but don't say these. It's like you're looking down on.
It's not all women. It's these women.
These black.